Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. I am so excited today because Amy Craver is back. If you haven't listened to them yet, episodes 3 and 4, it was a 2-part conversation about chakras, Reiki, vibrational, and sound healing. And so if you haven't listened to those yet, let me tell you a little bit about her. Amy Craver is a Reiki master, a sound and vibration healer, a QHHT level 2 hypnotist. Amy believes that everyone has the ability to heal themselves. Her intention is to help her clients tap into their inner wisdom and access their own innate healing powers. She approaches each session with compassion, respect, and a deep understanding of the mind-body-spirit connection. Her practice is rooted in the belief that true healing occurs when we address the root cause of our physical, emotional, and spiritual imbalances. And I'm pretty sure we all have some of that going on. So in this episode, Amy's going to tell us all about QHHT, which stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. She's a level 2 practitioner, and she's going to tell us everything she knows. Not only do we talk about QHHT, but we dive into boundaries and why being alone isn't always a bad thing. Amy opens up about how her childhood helped mold her into who she is today, and I share the overwhelming, life-changing healing moment that happened during my session with Amy. I do want to give a trigger warning on this one. If you've lost a child or you're close to someone who's lost a child, this episode may be too triggering for you. So I want to let everybody know ahead of time so you can make the decision yourself if this episode is for you. All right, let's get into it. I'm so excited to share with you all of the things Amy and I talked about. You're going to love it. Hey, you guys, Amy Craver is back. She's back with us today. I promised you she was going to come back and tell us all about this QHHT. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
I know. So I have had this experience with you, but because I'm going to guess most of the people listening have no idea what I'm talking about. What is QHHT? Just give us the rundown, the basics. Like, who started this whole movement? How old is this practice?
Dolores Cannon started QHHT in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
She was originally doing hypnosis to help people with losing weight and stop smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was working on that, she realized that some of her clients were going into a lifetime that wasn't this lifetime.
Okay.
So that's when she started developing the QHHT technique to go into past lives and deal with past life regression.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She did it for over 40 years. She hypnotized thousands of people.
Okay.
And she has also written hundreds of books that contain some of the hypnoses that she discovered and the things that are all
there's
going on.
books.
There's all kinds of books.
Ooh, I haven't read those.
Yes.
Okay.
Books on specifically like the creating of the world, the times when Jesus was here.
All of the information she's gathered from people visiting their past lives.
Yes. People
She's
during hypnosis.
Put this into books. And this is part of where people get their understanding of what's happening.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I got to read the books. Okay. So she's gone. She's passed away. She's
passed
gone.
away.
Okay. But the teachings, everyone's still learning this whole thing.
Yes. There are, I don't even know how many QHHT practitioners there are now, but there are 3 levels. There's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3.
Okay.
And
is the training super hard?
The training, it's not hard. It's a little time consuming. It's actually very interesting. It's just about learning about the mind and how the mind goes down into the stages. So when you're doing a QHHT session, it's a natural state that you're in. It's the state right before you wake up and right before you go to sleep. So you're not going anywhere. You're not experiencing anything that you don't normally experience. There's no brainwashing. QHHT is led by the person under hypnosis. They pick what they want to question and learn about. And then
from the beginning. So when someone first walks in and sits down, today's the day of my QHHT. So you ask people to start thinking before they come and jotting down questions they have. Questions about what? Like their life, their health.
Their life, their health. Why was I given my parents? Why did I have to experience this? Why do I have these phobias and fears? Why does my body hold weight? All the things that we'd like answers to.
Okay. And so you can write that down before your session, bring it in. And then so when you first get there, you're just going to sit down together and talk about the things.
We're going to talk about your life experience, the difficult things you've been through, the things that need to be looked at during your session to release. And then that usually takes an hour up to 2 hours, depending on how much garbage you have in your life. And then you also get comfortable with me and trust me to take you on this journey. And then once we have everything mapped out on where we want to go and what we want to look at, we will have you lay down. And then it just goes, it's basically just reading a script. And the mind goes down just following and listening to the script. We do a little bit of visualization in the script. So you see some pretty things and get your mind working on the side where all these
which is just helping you drop down into that hypnosis phase.
Yes. It just gets it all rolling. It gets the mind connected to that spot where the memories are stored.
Yes. Perfect. So we're here and we've talked about everything. Then what? Then we lay down.
We lay down. And I read you a script.
Okay.
And we go and we see your beautiful place, a place that is comfortable for you, which just also brings you into a spot of relaxation.
So like if you're someone who loves the ocean, maybe you're sitting on the beach at the ocean. If you love flowers, you're in a field of wildflowers. You just pick a place that you think is beautiful in your mind.
Okay. And that just drops you down more into relaxation. And the more you visualize and give the details, it brings you deeper into the hypnosis.
Okay. And to be clear, because I know when I've had mine, you have full control of everything going on.
Correct.
You don't, this isn't something where like, okay, I'm hypnotized. I come back 2 hours from now and I don't really know what happened. No. You kind of know what's going on the whole time.
Yes. Now, some people, they have some memory, but not all the detail. But yes, you people usually remember bits and pieces and things.
Yes. And but you still have total control in the situation.
Yes. In QHHT, your guides will never show you, or you'll never get information that you're not ready to hear.
Yes.
They're trying to help your soul evolve. So they only give you what you need.
Yes.
They don't want to shock you and scare you.
Yes. And the main point of this whole experience is healing. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're doing it. It's not like, oh, this will be fun to hear about my past lives. I mean, it is cool, but the main thing is like, what kind of things can we heal from? Like, what kind of things have you seen people heal from, or what
stored feelings of not being adequate. And then they can go back and see how their childhood contributed to that. And then they can see it from a higher perspective of why they chose their parent, why they went through that, what lessons they came here to learn from that. So it's all about connecting why these things are off and what they're supposed to teach you.
Okay.
And then also the past life regression part goes into things that you've carried over into this life that are holding you back, that you may not even connect to this
you didn't even know you had that.
Correct. Like a lot of times people will hold weight in their body and they cannot lose weight. They're down on themselves, but sometimes they've carried that weight in from a past life because they were sexually abused or had something happen to them that they're protecting themselves with that weight.
You start figuring out why you stress eat.
Yes.
And then like addictions, I'm assuming like addictions.
Yes. I've had people stop drinking. I've had people stop smoking. Things, finding out that they carried that over even from a past life.
Yeah.
Like they've been alcoholics in a past life and carried that over.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they can see it and see that they carried it over and it's a pattern, they can clear it and let it go.
You can clear it out and let it go.
Yep.
Okay.
It's just identifying it.
Yeah. Because I saw on here, okay, heal the body, remove karma, and discover answers.
Yes. So like before we come into this life here, we come in with a team of people who are going to help us grow.
Okay.
So like you could have come in with a crappy dad, but his job was to come in here and be crappy. So you know not to be like that, to learn lessons from that.
Right.
So even though it seems like a bad thing, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just trying to help you grow. So once you can identify that
and reframe it.
Yeah, it takes away a lot of the emotional damage it has caused.
Okay. So we're just healing our bodies.
We're healing and we're seeing why is this happening? Why am I going through this?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because a lot of times if we can find the why, we can let go of the effects it's having on our life.
Okay. So we were talking about how we started. Okay. So we're laying there. We're envisioning our beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take us through a visualization that leads us into more of that hypnotic state.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember for me, it's a cloud.
Yes. Yes. Dolores' technique is to go to the cloud and you kind of float and drift on this cloud and you're going over land and valleys and all the things. And then once you go back in time, we stop the cloud and you come down. And then as you're coming down, you usually start to see this scene of a past life.
Okay.
So you'll come in and you'll say, I'm in the woods or I'm on the beach. And then we just start building from there. What's around you? Who's there with you? What are
because your job is you're the guide.
I'm the guide. I'm trying to figure out what you're seeing, what you're doing, where you're going with this.
Right. And when it's time to move on or like whatever.
So we go and we start to discover, were you male or female? Were you...
Yeah.
What
were
was
you
your
wearing?
job?
What do you
How
see?
did you spend your time? What was your family? All those things. And then we go into we go through several important days in that person's life. And then we even go into the death of that person, which is healing to see that you died and you moved to the other side and you're okay.
Yes.
And you're greeted by light and support,
love, all
comfort,
your favorite people.
Yes, you're cared for and protected. So that's healing in itself. Just realizing there's more.
Yes.
We don't end.
Yes.
Energy never dies. We keep traveling.
And so that's something before you decide to do a QHHT session or before you gift this to someone. If you haven't wrapped your brain around past lives yet, you got to do that work first.
Yes. There are some people who I've done who don't necessarily believe in past lives, and they may not go to a past life. So they may see events in this life that need healed, looked at. Yeah. So even though some people kind of block that part,
block the past life thing, you're still going to see some things.
The soul will still show them stuff they need to see in this life to move on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like then we heal the stuff in this life.
Correct.
And then maybe you get to the point where you're like, I still feel something. Where's that from? Okay. It could be the past life.
Yes. And then once they've gone through that, they're a little more open and you can.
Yeah. So you get non-woo-woo people that come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to be like, believe all the things to go have an experience.
Right.
That feels good. Yeah. And so how long does it last?
It can be anywhere, usually between 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
You're under hypnosis for around 2 hours.
Yes. Well, because we're going to spend some time talking before we start.
Yes. And then the hypnosis and then a little briefing of what you've seen, how it made you feel, the emotions you felt. And
you record it.
It's recorded.
And so tell everybody why that's important.
It's very important because you don't remember all the details. And the further out you are from it, it will start to disappear like a dream. So all the knowledge you gained in that moment will eventually start to fade away. So by listening to the recording, it rewires the brain, promotes all the healing you had, and puts those visions and knowledge at the forefront so you can keep remembering, looking at it, and healing from it.
Yes.
So listening to the recording is the main key.
It's like a big, important part of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you record it and then you send it to us.
Correct.
Yeah. And then we can just save it in our phones or our computers or wherever.
And listen to it. I suggest listening to it a lot at first. If you have chronic illness, you want to listen to it daily, even while you sleep. You can get the healing benefits.
Yeah, because here's what I found with mine. So you're not saying everything out loud you're seeing. I wasn't.
Correct, right.
Okay. So you're listening back to your recording and no, you're not narrating everything you were seeing back then, but it comes back to you.
Correct. It'll spark the memories again.
It'll spark the memory and you'll be there again.
Right.
Yeah. Which is hard to understand because like I remember being in mine and I knew where I was, but time went like really fast.
Yes.
I got up from like hours of sitting there and it just felt like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes. When you're in that
I was shocked what time it was of the day.
Completely.
Yeah. It's just gone.
It's like time travel, basically.
Yes. Because you're
going back.
You're going other places.
Yes.
But I still felt safe the whole time. Like I knew what room I was in. You know what I mean? Like I could hear, it was weird because I could hear myself talking. So you almost for a minute think, am I making this up?
Correct. And Dolores and them have found that as people are evolving more and waking up more, they are more in contact with their team. So they are more awake and more aware during. I feel like people who have not done too much work and aren't too into all the things,
yes,
they tend to go a little deeper because they need to be a little deeper
to see what they need to see.
Yes.
Because I felt pretty like with it.
Yes. And that's very common.
And so you have to like wash that out of your head. You have to go like, well, I'm not going to worry about it.
Your mind can't make up all the great details that you see.
No, my subconscious would never go to these places.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
It's not like, oh yeah, I dream about this all the time.
Right.
Like, no, I don't. I've never seen this before.
Right.
Never. And so, and you'll go to and you'll see whatever you're supposed to see that day.
Correct. Yes. So before you come to a QHHT session, I start praying days before, asking your team and guides to come in and show you what you need to see. So we're making that connection right away.
Yeah.
So that your team is preparing to show you, to give you the questions you want to ask, to show you all the things. And then afterwards, for about 3 days, your team stays around you. So those next 3 days after your session, you'll keep getting downloads. You'll keep getting epiphanies. You'll keep hearing from your team.
Like for a while. And then when you listen to that recording again, it like re-triggers the whole thing again.
And each time you listen, you'll find little pieces that you didn't necessarily catch the first time because you weren't focused on that. You were catching something else.
Yes.
So each time you catch more and
more of it.
Yep.
So what kind of fun, what's the craziest things people have come out with? Like, give me, what is some really cool stuff you've heard? Obviously, we're not going to say who it was or anything else, but like
my most
what comes
interesting one, I had a woman who was struggling. She's an empath, super sensitive. She was struggling with life, the stresses of life, all the things. Her body was feeling it. She was aching and constantly feeling worn down. As soon as I hypnotized her, it wasn't me leading the show. Her angels came in and took over.
Oh, God.
Yes. Very cool. They told her that she was an angel here on earth and that she has got to keep her vibration to a certain level so she can do what she came here to do. And that consisted of meditating daily for at least 20 minutes. And then they showed her how to get to where she needs to get to in the angel realm during her meditation to keep her healed as she stays here on earth.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
So was she saying what they were saying out loud or were they channeling through you? Were you saying
her?
Her.
Everything came through her.
Okay. So she just would say things out loud to you.
Yes. She was talking in the voice of the angels. We have to take her. We have to show her where she needs to go.
So she was talking like third person, like she was talking.
Yes. We need to raise her vibration. She's going to start getting sick if she doesn't start taking care of her energy and protecting herself. She works in the school system, so that's a very heavy place to be.
Yes.
And it's a negative environment. So protecting herself was key that she needed to know about. She's supposed to stay in that environment because she's helping that environment.
Okay.
But she's got to protect herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. And I will say, I feel like I spoke even during mine, like about her. It was me. I was talking about me, but it was her. It was almost like it was my subconscious or my higher self talking.
It's your higher self coming in.
Talking to me.
Yes.
But then when I was saying things out loud, it was like, like you said, she needs to, she. I was referring to myself like in third person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your conscious self steps aside and the subconscious takes over, which is your higher self, which is just, you're a piece of your higher self.
Yes.
It has many pieces.
Yes.
So it comes through.
Mm-hmm. And says whatever you need to do.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You just said pieces. There are pieces of our higher self.
Yes.
Okay. So a piece is torn off and blobbed into us.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're all a piece of God.
Right.
Down here living experiences for him.
Yes.
We have higher things that regulate us until we get down to this lower. Here we're splintered off into many pieces from that higher self.
So this is a hard concept to just wrap your little brain around.
It is.
But okay, this is why we'll use my dad for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my dad has passed away, doing another life or something. But this is how I can still communicate with the dad I knew. The way I knew him was because that little piece still exists for me to tap into.
Correct.
And that's still a little part of his soul, of God, of everything.
Yes.
So that's why we can communicate with our loved ones as we knew them.
Yes.
But also know that they're doing other things.
Correct.
Their soul is doing big things. They could be in another life. They could be helping God out with whatever he needed help with.
Yeah. It could be in a state of just resting, or it could be in a state of guiding all of the loved ones that they left behind.
Right. So that's why they are protecting us and guiding us.
Yes.
Like my dad is still here protecting and guiding me.
You are a piece of him. It cannot be severed.
And also, he's got other things going on too.
Correct. He's got his own little life going on.
Yes. Because our higher self, our souls, we're multitaskers.
Yes.
Like I'm here right now living this life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing other things too.
Yes.
So I'm getting it done somewhere else right now. I don't even know.
I have narcolepsy. So I believe that when I go to sleep at night, I am working in the other realm.
Yeah.
I am literally sorting things out, doing things, working on stuff while I sleep.
God, do you wake up exhausted?
Yes. That's why, that's why I have to nap.
No, you got to shut that down. I don't even know. You can't shut it down. Because that's what you're supposed to be doing.
You can heal anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like I'm an empath. I'm a sensitive being. So it is the way for my body to make sure it gets that rest. So I'm not just constantly burning at both ends. Yeah.
So if you need a nap during the day, you take a nap.
I take a nap.
And that's the thing. We just got to listen to our bodies.
Yes. And we don't let ourselves rest.
No, because especially like in our culture.
Yes.
If you aren't busy, you're a slacker.
Yes.
Like you're a loser, you're a slacker. Why aren't you doing more? And when really we have to get back to like, if my body needs sleep.
Sleep is healing.
Then I need to sleep.
That's when we regenerate everything.
Right? If I need to stop, if I need to take a day off from the world.
Yes.
then I don't need to feel guilty about taking 9 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. Some people are burning at both ends on the weekends, because then we think we get to Saturday or Sunday and it's like, well, no, now I have to scrub my house and I have to go get food for all these people that live here. And I have, all this stuff.
There's no break.
And there's no freaking break. We're not healing anything. Mm-mm. And so, we need to get our culture back to like, rest. Not judging when someone needs a freaking nap.
Correct.
or a day off.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Use your sick days.
Right. Take the vacation.
Yes.
Take the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You might as well.
Yes. We've got to be resetting, and we're not.
No, we're not taking care of ourselves.
And when we give ourselves that time to reset, our guides can talk to us.
Yes. That's when we figure some stuff out.
Yes.
Because if you have too many noises in your head, they're never getting through.
You hear nothing.
You're not going to hear a darn thing.
Correct.
And you're just going to wonder if you're doing things right or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we said it, how long it is. It's a couple hours. It doesn't feel that long.
No, it flies.
If it feels that long, you can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and are there people who just like lay down and like they can't get to that state?
I have had, when I first started, I had 3.
Okay.
Extremely anxious people, a lot of trauma. So unable to just relax and trust and let go.
Okay.
I would like to, now that I'm further out in my QHHT career, I would like to have done them again.
Try it again.
Soon after. Yeah. Just to.
Because just like with anything, like you're improving your technique too the whole time.
And they've already kind of experienced it. So they know I think knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
Helps people relax more and go into it.
Right. And just know that it's just a judge-free zone in there.
Yes. Yes.
You're not telling other people what they're saying.
And even if people see and get minimal advice from their guides, just going through into that state and having the, like I'll go through and open the chakras and send the white light through the body to heal anything stale and stagnant. Even just that aspect of it helps heal. So just having that done, they'll be changed.
Yeah. It'll be amazing. So it's a longer process. And so but also the same as when you go to like a therapist, when they get there and they're telling you all their shit, like it doesn't go anywhere else. It doesn't leave the room. Right. Amy's not out telling the world your stories.
I wish I had that great of a memory.
Yeah. Like, no. And she's not playing your recording for anyone else. She sends it to you. It's right. It does her no good. Yeah.
I kind of feel like, because like I'll see people and they'll want to talk about it. And I just sometimes draw the blank on what happened during because I can't.
Yeah, you're not going to remember everybody's stories. Like you can't do it.
You can't.
They're looking at you like, you remember every detail of me, like, right? And you're like, no, I do not. Because when you're done,
my memory,
just like with Reiki or anything else, when you're done with QHHT, you're cleansing. You're cleansing it out. You're not keeping that person's energy.
Right.
No, you don't want anything to do with that energy.
No.
You got to get back to your own.
Correct.
Okay, so she's not going to judge you. You can go tell her all the things.
I've heard everything.
She's heard it all.
The majority of people have had a lot of shit.
A lot of trauma. Because you know what? If you've had no trauma and you've had some beautiful, precious life, like
you're not coming to see
You're not coming to see anybody because you think you've got it all figured out.
Chakras are clean and good.
I don't really know if someone truly exists like that, but I think people think they exist like that.
Yeah.
Right? Until the bubble gets burst at some point in their life.
Yes.
And then they feel the wrath.
Yes.
And then they'll be coming in. No.
Yeah.
But not until then.
There's that's how I kind of feel. I was going through life kind of unawake and just smooth and trying to keep everything going. And then I lost my job when COVID hit and it forced me to awaken. I had to stop and look at everything, look at all the traumas, look at the things from childhood that I pushed aside and just said, I'm over it. I'm over it.
That damn COVID.
I wasn't over it.
No, you're not. We don't get over it.
I wasn't over it.
If we bury it, we're not over it.
Right.
Yeah. I was talking to a different guest and we were talking about how like you just have to bring things out of the shadows into the light.
Yes.
And then they can't survive anymore.
Correct. And
like,
even like
it.
talking about that, like I'm honest now about how things were and things that have happened. And
it feels so much better.
Because the majority of people have experienced the same junk.
The same stuff.
Yes.
And they just are still thinking maybe it's just them.
Yes.
And it's not just them.
No. We
all. And I'm sure, and you said you hear all the stories.
Yes.
So you probably know you're like, someone walks in and they probably tell you some things you wouldn't have guessed was going to come out of their mouth.
Yes. People who seem so pulled together and have it all. A lot of times they're that way because they had an overbearing mom that was a perfectionist.
Right. And so they don't want to show the world anything but perfect.
Right. And I was always envious of those people. And then
we were like, what am I doing wrong?
And then you realize, wow, that's a trauma response.
And it's even worse with social media.
Yes.
Because now we look at how perfect their lives appear.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I don't even like to scroll through my feed anymore, because you scroll through and people that I actually know their life story, and I see them posting and I'm like, you are so full of shit.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I will see someone gushing about their life, their amazing partner, their amazing children. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Right.
Like, I know for a fact that your husband's an asshole and you're all in therapy. Like, no,
and that's someone who's not looking at their stuff.
They're not looking at the things right.
They're not looking at
They're in
stuff.
denial the whole time.
Yep.
And I'm sure I'm in denial about things too.
Sure.
Okay. But I try and at least throw on the glasses that say like, okay, wait a minute, what? It's probably a me problem.
Yes.
I should start with me.
Yes.
Because what is this new Taylor Swift song? Like, hey, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Yep. Yeah. That's all of us.
Because it starts with, it is us, because we allow things into our life. We allow.
Yeah.
So setting boundaries is a great place to start with getting control of your life and all the things.
Oh, the boundaries.
Yes.
Yep. We got to get the boundaries.
Yeah.
And the boundaries aren't for other people.
No.
They're for you.
They're for you.
It's not me telling you, you're not going to do that anymore to me. It's me saying, you can do whatever you want to me. I'm not going to participate.
Correct.
I'm out. I'm out of here.
Yep. And stick to your guns.
Yes. I'm going to control my own world.
Yes.
And so I'm not saying you can't be that person, be whatever person you want to be, but I don't have to participate in it.
I don't have to.
We don't have to stay on the same path.
Yep.
You can go on yours and I'll go on mine. No big deal. Yep. So boundaries are more just, they're not rules, because sometimes you think they're rules. But they're not really rules for other people. It's you. Yes. You're deciding what you're going to allow and what you're not going to allow anymore.
Who feels good, who doesn't.
Right.
You should not be encountering people on a daily basis who make your skin crawl, make you release cortisol, make you feel stressed. It's not healthy.
No.
And if there's simple things you can put into play, like, I don't feel comfortable when you yell at me.
Right.
Then they have the choice to stop. And if they don't, then it's your choice to move.
Right.
You at least said, hey, this is what's
and
disrupting our situation.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Like, there are women right now who are stuck.
Yes.
With someone who is terrible for them.
Yes.
Right. And if you're that person out there, you just have to know, like, baby steps.
Yes.
Right? Start working on yourself.
Yes.
The other person doesn't even have to know the work you're doing. Right?
Start with that.
Just start with yourself. Start with,
I deserve better.
Yeah. Meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve, because once you build up your own, like you said, you open up all the energy centers, you start believing in yourself, you'll start getting more power.
Yes.
To try and get out of that situation. And then your spirit team will show you who's going to help you. They'll bring someone into your life that'll help you get out of that situation.
Yes.
Or something. You can manifest, you can bring that in then.
Mm-hmm.
You can
as soon as you start asking your team for help, they will start giving you the things to improve your situation, to get out of the situation.
And if you live with someone low vibe, that doesn't mean you can't start making yourself higher vibe.
Correct.
Bring yourself up higher than them.
Correct.
You got to figure out how to not let them bring you down.
Correct.
And then
into their clearing your spaces, saging often, keep the negative energy out of your home, listening to upbeat music in the house.
And maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's just a friend that you need to hang out with less.
Yes. Yes.
Or not at all.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And don't feel guilty about cutting those ties, because they don't feel guilty about bringing you down.
No.
So
they love it.
You've got to put yourself first.
Yep. And say, I've got to hang around. Just switch you'll lose a friend, but you'll find your people.
Yes.
You'll find your people that you feel good around.
Yes.
I would rather be alone.
Correct.
At this point in my life, I've gotten to the age where I would rather be alone.
Yes.
Than with all the crazy.
I think that
with negative energy
comes like I'm at that point too. I think that came with my 40s.
It comes with age.
Just
because we get to a point where we're like, I don't have to go over to that. I don't have to go to that person's house and hang out. I don't want to.
I'm too tired.
I'm too tired. I'm not doing
argument.
Yes. No, we get to a point where we're like, I would rather sit home by myself for a full month.
Yeah.
I love being alone, actually.
I do too. It gets addicting, and
no, it does. And then you're like, am I alone too much?
Right.
I should probably get out a little bit. But if that's your comfortable place,
yes,
for a while, you don't want to stay there forever necessarily. But if it feels good,
as you're healing and you are awakening and you are finding your strengths and getting more in tune to yourself, you do go through the hermit period where you do need to be alone and only hear yourself, where other people's commentary just kind of,
it's just noise.
Yeah, it just disrupts the path. Being alone is a
really good thing.
Yeah.
And being okay being alone, because there's a lot of people out there that can't be alone.
Right.
Which I've never understood, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Because I can be alone, but I know people. I have relatives and friends that cannot be alone. They need to have someone with them. They need to have someone to talk to. They need to, you know what I mean? An assistant for everything they do. And I always think oh, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah, that's a bad place to be in.
That's exhausting.
To constantly need someone will always have you fretting because you won't always have someone. No. So the more you can be comfortable with yourself, by yourself,
and you're feeling that hole. You're feeling like that hole inside.
Yes.
So you're hoping all these people you're hanging out with will fill it. You're just hanging out with lots of people to fill the hole. And it will never fill.
No.
You can only fill your hole.
Correct.
I was talking to someone the other day, we can't expect our partner, our children, our friends to make us happy.
Right.
They can't we can only make us happy.
Yes.
They can't. If you're depending on everybody else to make yourself happy, it's never happening.
Never.
No, you have to make yourself happy. And then other people are happier around you naturally.
Yes.
Yep. Then we're all happy together.
And setting those boundaries, if the people aren't in the happier and they are constantly dragging you down, that's when you got to evaluate.
Yeah. You take care of your business first, and then you see if they're going to get on board.
Yep.
Yeah. And then this all goes back to intuition.
Our guides are constantly feeding our intuition in our mind.
And they're all right
what
here.
We need to know.
So your spiritual journey started with COVID.
A little before that, I was doing Reiki and I was meditating with crystals and all those things. And then once COVID hit, it was full force. It was like dark night of the soul.
You had to look at all the things.
Crying.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at my childhood, looking at my career, looking at who I am as a person that I present to the world, just everything.
Yeah.
And realize that I was a really fragile, scared, weak being.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that.
No, you had to come in because you're naturally introverted.
Yes. Very much so.
You don't want to hang out in crowds.
Oh, no.
No.
I was born into fear. My mom was agoraphobe, a person who has troubles leaving the home.
Okay.
So we never really left the home.
Okay.
We were kind of sheltered.
That was your life. That's all you knew.
Yes. So going out into the world, I'm super sensitive to everybody's energies and feeling people, places, and things. So I tend to be more of a homebody and an introvert.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you didn't go outside.
No.
You didn't
we went outside our block.
Right.
But that was it.
Right. But you didn't have big birthday parties.
No.
And you didn't head out on long vacations.
No.
I would assume you wouldn't hardly had any road trip vacations.
Our vacations were to my grandma's house in Florida.
Okay, because she's comfortable there.
Yeah, we would. My dad did take us to Disney once, but we basically just would go to my grandma's house and stay at my grandma's house.
Okay, yeah, because that was the comfort zone.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So all of this has opened me and helped heal some of those things. I'm able to get out now. I do sound baths in front of people.
Yeah. No, you're up
I'm-
in front of people.
I'm talking.
You're on
here.
a podcast.
Yes, this is something I would have
out of your comfort zone.
Way out of my comfort
Way
zone.
out of the comfort zone. But here we are.
But healing and doing the work and talking to my guides just keeps building me.
Well, and people hearing this out there that maybe you're in the same boat.
Yes.
Are very introverted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
there's hope.
Yeah, you can slowly make your way out into the world.
Yes. And not say I will never enjoy being in crowds with a lot of people. That will never be my go-to. No. But I can go to the farmer's market and feel okay.
Yes.
I can do daily life things and not feel
overwhelmed
like I used to.
Yeah. Yep. Because you're doing the work.
Because I'm doing the work.
All this damn work.
All this damn work. It's a lifelong process.
Work.
Yes.
And when you're in it, it doesn't feel great.
It doesn't feel great. It's a lot of crying. It's a lot. Am I doing this right? Am I crazy?
Questioning yourself.
Is my mind literally hearing voices? Am I schizophrenic? Am I?
Yes.
All the things.
Yes.
All the things.
You'll start to think like, and then you worry like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm nutso.
But crazy people don't know they're crazy. So that's how you know you're on your healing journey and
that's
you're
right.
not crazy.
The fact that I will stop and wonder, okay, have I looked at this from all sides? Is this nuts?
Right.
Or like valid, which is why I ask for science a lot too.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because I'm like, am I not like,
am I losing
my imagination?
Yeah.
Is the world going to think I'm crazy?
It's really
crazy. You're right. Crazy people don't know they're crazy because you meet certain people and you're like, they have no clue.
Yes. No clue.
They have no clue how they're acting right now.
So being aware.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
If you're second guessing yourself, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Because that means you actually like,
you're looking now.
You're taking it serious.
You're reflecting. Yeah. You're questioning yourself.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. I love it. So I'm trying to think of like the best thing that came out of QHHT for me. And I say best, like the most change that gave me the most change. So I've seen past lives in different, whether it's someone's done a past life regression for me or like my own meditation or someone's a reading, like whatever. So I'm trying to think of the past lives that came. And there's one in particular. And so every time I listen back and I get to this section, I bawl. And so that's how I know it was real deal. Yeah. I mean, because I wasn't even talking to you out loud about everything going on.
Yes.
But the minute I listen to my QHHT and that part hits, bam. So in a lot of my past lives, I have seen and come to know I've lost a lot of children.
Yes.
Okay. So, which I have a huge fear of losing my children.
That you carried over from your past lives.
Which I think nobody wants to lose a child.
Correct.
But sometimes it's that heaviness in the chest kind of anxiety.
Yes.
Where you're like.
The paralyzing.
Scared. Where you're like, I might lose a kid. You know, and so, and I haven't spent my children's lives being like, you know, like, you can't leave the house, wrapping them up. No, nothing like that. But and I didn't even realize I had the fear as deeply as I have the fear.
Yes.
Until I saw this. And so I started seeing that I had lost children. We went to this past life and, you know, we rode the cloud. I arrived and it was like, I can't pinpoint exactly where it was. Indian. I was an older Indian woman and I could tell this based on the surroundings. I would like the fire I was by, the teepee, the homes that people are living in the community. I could tell that's where I was. Okay. So I was an older Indian woman and I had no children at the time. Cause I think I said something and you had asked me like, do you have children? And I was like, not anymore or something. Like I didn't have any children in that lifetime. I was more like an old mentor to like a lot of the village people is what I felt like.
Yes.
Okay. And so I looked over and I saw this desolate field of bones, so many bones. And I knew, and I don't know that I was saying this out, but I knew that those were the bones of a lot of children I lost. And we got to a point and you were trying to move me on. I don't know if it was because I was quiet and you weren't sure what was happening or what, but you were like, you were ready for me to hop back on the cloud. And I was like, I can't go. I can't go yet. I couldn't go. And so I had to visually, I had to bury. I couldn't leave that life. I had to go bury the bones and I had to plant flowers. And so to this day, and I get to this point in the QHHT, and I'm just going to try not to cry here online with everybody. But the feeling I felt the moment I saw flowers, well, okay, it was an awful feeling when I saw the bones.
Yes.
And I could feel this heaviness on my chest, like there was an elephant sitting on top of me. I was like, oh my God, I just knew what those bones meant.
Yeah.
And so I could not move on and leave the bones there. I needed to bury them.
That was your closure?
This was the closure, I think, part of what I needed. I buried all the bones and I planted flowers, I guess, because all of a sudden I saw beautiful flowers growing where all the bones were.
Life goes on.
And then I could walk away. Like I remember tears coming down my cheeks. Like I was crying. And this was like, I wouldn't have known to make all that up.
Right.
Like there's no
way.
There is no way I would have wanted to make that up.
Right.
Nor go through that whole process. I would have locked it away and walked right out of there.
Yeah.
Right? Like
yes.
I would not have dealt with that 100%. So I know that my subconscious, my higher self, my soul, what God wanted me to, everybody knew that I have been storing this. Can I prove it? No, but I know it.
Right.
I don't
do you feel lighter knowing it?
Yes. And now you have shown me to do the work to heal. I mean, I'm still working on it because every time I listen to that, get to that section of my session, I will cry again. I will feel it in my chest and I will cry again. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No,
I just keep releasing it,
yes.
releasing it,
yep.
releasing it.
And I also think you're clearing it. Why you've seen so many bones is you're clearing it for thousands of women who have lost children.
Moving forward and backward in my own timeline.
In the whole world, we're all trying to heal the collective. We're all trying to heal the things that have been happening on the earth for
I mean, you're right. I hadn't
years.
thought of it that way. Maybe some of the bones weren't even my children.
Yes. It's
maybe
the sadness of the...
it was just the loss I felt.
Yes.
That like it was profoundly deep.
The loss of a mother losing her children.
Yes. Like it was a lot and I could feel it, which I'd already seen other lives in meditation where I got an inkling that I had like lost a child. But this brought it all to pass. The bones.
What's pretty cool is they did it slowly, that you had the inkling first.
And they were easing me in.
Yeah, you've seen it in little steps.
They know me. They know that I can't go big like that
and
right
then
away.
Finally, it was like, okay, this needs to be cleared now.
Many a story from different, past lives and regressions and more things that happened even during our sessions. But I feel like that's the one. That's the one where it was like, okay, this is why I did this.
Yes.
Everything else was just a bonus vision and everything else that we saw and did was cool. But this is the one thing that was like, oh God, like this is what I have to work through. And I didn't go into the session even having that in my mind.
Right.
I mean, if you'd have told me that was going to happen, I'd have been like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, that's woo-woo. It's not happening to me.
Right.
Oh, no, it did. I was like, and I'm still skeptical to this day. Like, I'm very open, but I still have an amount of skepticism about some things. If it doesn't resonate with me, I still am not there with everything.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Which is fine. We don't have to all be on board with everything.
You just keep listening to your gut. And
I just keep moving forward until this life's done. I'm just going to keep chugging through it until they're all done with me, until it's time to move on to the next thing, I guess. Yeah. No. So that was for me, that was like a big one.
I had this one girl who, she seen a scene where she was young and she was dying, and she was an Indian girl and her father was sitting next to her and he was crying and she could feel his love for her. And, we moved on from there, and it came full circle that her grandfather in this life was her father in that life. So making the connections with the people who are in our life doing, teaching us the lessons and helping us is a very
that's
neat
cool
thing.
too.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. Because that stuff pops out too.
Yes. Like a lot of times the people in our life have been with us.
Yes.
Over and over again until we clear the karma and get things right with them.
Yes. So then at the end of the session, I remember, so we did like the past lives, but then we went through like health stuff at the end. Like we did like a little, I'll just call it a body scan.
Perfect.
I don't know.
That's what I'd call it.
Something like a body scan where we went through, because we had talked before about some of my health issues that I have. And so we kind of went through those, and you would ask like my subconscious, my higher self, like, will she be able to eventually stop using that medication? Will she, and then you would even say like, how long?
Right.
How long are we looking at here?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I think at one point it even came out like that I'm going to be moving maybe in a couple of years or something. Like, that kind of stuff will come through almost like with a little bit of a timeline attached. Like you'll ask, like as you're guiding, part of your job is to say like, okay, can Jenny recover from that? Can she stop the medication? What should she do?
Yeah.
Can we work on clearing that right now?
Right. What's causing the backup in the system that she needs the meditation or medication
for? Like, can we move past that?
Yep. So pinpointing the trauma or the experiences that cause us to, like, diabetes is usually a thing because people don't have enough sweetness in their life. So they eat a lot of sweets to fill themselves.
Oh my God.
So,
did you just channel me?
I
love the sweets.
So, what they're lacking, what they need in their life to help counteract that.
Right. Like, we need to do more things that fulfill us.
Yes.
And maybe we won't need so many
more
sweets.
Love. Allow yourself to open up to love, to sweetness, to taking compliments, to letting people show you those things.
Yeah.
And
start to heal
and then it can be like, okay, in 2 months, she'll be there. She can stop taking her diabetes medicine.
Right. Or like whatever. And I'm not advocating everybody stops their medications.
Right. Right.
Okay. Like, things are necessary.
Correct.
We have to find a balance between the worlds here.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Between the woo-woo healing and like the, scientific medicine.
But what is true is everything can be healed. Your mind can heal anything. So if you you are in a space of believing you want something healed and you can heal it, it can be done.
It can be done.
But sometimes, like they say, it'll take 2 months before she can get off of this. There's stuff that has to adjust in the body and in the things.
Yeah, like they'll come through and say like, no, like she's got some work to do before she can get to the point where she's not eating all those sweets.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. Because you don't want to mess around and like stop medications.
Like my hip's not going to stop aching until I let go of the anger I hold towards whoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
a lot of figuring stuff out and using these modalities to do it. It's just more information.
Yes.
Like these sessions are just more information you're giving yourself about yourself.
From a higher perspective, perspective that's not.
That we can't see ourselves.
Yes. That's not just tainted by our human brain. It's a higher knowing brain that wants you to achieve all that you came here for. So it's literally trying to help you. Advance, clear.
Trying to help you see it so you can fix it.
Yep.
And move past it.
Yep.
Go move on to what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, gosh.
I had a very young girl who went away to college, and one of her friends got killed at college, and she had extreme anxiety since then. And she came home and was kind of stuck with the parents and didn't want to go out on her own and to live life. So they sent her for a QHHT session. And usually it don't go into the future, but sometimes it does if people need hope, I feel. And it showed her this beautiful life she would have in North Carolina, writing books and her mom editing them and all these things. She could just, once she gets over her fear of all of those things. So
she's got big things waiting.
Yeah. So it gave her hope, and she was able to shake the fears and start moving on.
Start moving forward.
Yep.
So that went into the future. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had two go, and one other girl was stuck living at home and not really having much hope. And it showed her in the future living in Utah, married with kids and all these things. So just giving her hope for,
yes, there's more out there.
Yes.
Yeah. You just got to keep moving forward because like God's spirit, angels, whatever you call it or belief, like there's a definite plan for you.
Yes.
You made a plan before you came here.
Yes.
And everybody's on board with it.
Yes.
Like
and
God, everybody wants you to do it.
we can't let our traumas keep us stuck in the same rut.
Yes.
We got to see it as lessons, let it go, and keep moving.
Yes. And even if you don't feel like you've had big traumas in this lifetime, might have had some in the last one.
That's correct. That's correct.
And you don't know why you feel like shit, but you do.
Yes. Yes. Because it can pull in. If a lot of souls think, I'll just hurry up and go back and learn what I need to learn and not take enough time in the in-between. And then they come back with a lot of their past stuff. Too soon. There is a too soon thing.
Which I don't understand because it's probably freaking amazing. I don't even know why we come back at all. We got stuff to do. So we come back.
I came here to raise the vibration of the earth. I will not come back after this. This has been plenty.
You're calling it after this one.
I'm calling it.
Is everyone on board with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
This is your last human life.
Yes.
Okay.
I will go back to the angel realm and help from there.
Then help from there. That sounds like a good plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping here. I just don't want to be in the dense level. But the earth is rising. We are going up to at least a 5. There's
stuff changing.
Yeah. We're almost in a 5D level earth right now. So
how do you feel that? Do you feel that in your body?
I do. Unfortunately, because we're bringing it in right now, I feel it as anxiety. I'm feeling the collective
anxiety
energy
of the change.
Yes. And all the stuff that's going on. Because for us to keep rising, all the old stuff has to crumble. And so that creates chaos in the world. So really focusing.
It feels a bit chaotic.
Yeah. So really focusing on ourselves in our own world will take out a lot of that chaos because we are in charge of not the world, only ourselves.
Only ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah. We can't help everybody. We just need to worry about ourselves and do what we can do.
Yes.
And what we were meant to do.
And not everybody will evolve during this lifetime. Not everybody's plan was to evolve during this lifetime.
No.
Some people volunteered to be here to be blank souls. To show other people how not to be.
Yeah, I've met some of them.
Yeah. So
I know some of those people.
They'll never get it. So those are the people you make sure you're setting your boundaries with.
Yeah.
And you're distancing.
Trust your gut.
Distancing yourself with because their energy can affect you and bring you down.
Yes.
It can knock you off your path.
Yep. And for kids, for younger people, like they may be stuck where they are now because we kind of are stuck as a kid.
Yes.
But you'll get out. You're moving forward.
And if you are a parent, teaching your kids to quiet the mind, letting them have a safe space within themselves is life-changing.
Yes. And let kids be alone.
Yes.
Let them figure out how to play alone.
Without being entertained.
Yes.
Play.
Their little imaginations go wild.
Yep.
And be supportive. Yep. And because part of the chaos is all of the technology. Which is technology's good and bad. Good and bad.
Yes. Unfortunately, it is good, but humans tend to take everything and use it for bad.
I know. Not all of us. We're going to make it happen.
Yes.
We're going to make it happen. It's fine. We're going to make it happen. But protect yourself. Protect your energy.
Yeah. Protect your kids.
Protect your kids. Protect other people's kids.
Yes.
If you don't have kids, doesn't matter. Protect everybody else's kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they don't have the choices we have. Oh my gosh. Oh, Amy, we have so much to think about. All Amy's stuff in the show notes again. Okay. We've got all the information. You can go to her website. And it has all kinds of different sessions on there. The QHHT, the Reiki, everything she does is on there. And she does remote and local. So she's got a beautiful little place locally here. If you're local to us, she's got a beautiful little place over. Is it called the Healing Space? Yes. And that's where I go to get my Reiki as like now I'm due to book again. Yeah. And I don't book mine like I'm on a calendar. When I feel it, I book it.
Yes.
Right? Because it's not something we need to come every week for.
No. And someone should not be hounding you like, you need to come. You need to come. You need to come.
Like, you need to come. We have so much work.
Yeah. If someone's telling you,
you got to come too often.
Yes.
Red
or
flag.
they're telling you like, I need to do this for you. It's all about you. It's all about holding space for you. I don't need to do nothing but hold space for you.
Right. So when you feel like you need it,
yes,
you go.
And if someone makes it egotistical that they're doing the healing,
that's a bad sign too.
That's not your person.
No. If they're like, oh man, I am so helping you.
Yeah. No.
I'm so proud of myself. No.
It's a channeled energy. We are just conduits.
Just conduits. You're not some magician with a little magic wand that's going to fix everybody. No. You just know the modalities to help people open and grow and figure their shit out. Yes. Heal themselves. Because you didn't plan on me seeing the dead bones.
I sure did not.
That was all my doing.
Yep.
Yes. That was all what I needed to see. Anyway, so you check it all out wherever you're at, find a practitioner, go online, find a practitioner, because this is one more tool for our spiritual journey, our spiritual awakening, just to help us out a little bit. And if it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yes.
If it resonates with you, you got to go do it. And you may be listening now and this isn't resonating and you're not doing it. But you know what? A year from now, you might think back and be like, I'm ready.
Yes.
And I'm ready now. It happens a lot.
Yes.
And you say, okay, I'm ready now. Because I heard about Reiki and all this stuff way before I started doing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I was the one saying, if I'm paying, I'm getting a freaking massage.
Right. Right.
It's like, I don't know what this no hands on me thing is. I like the hands, the massage. But then I got to the place where I was like, no, I think I need that. I need that more than anything now. Yes. And especially once you start your meditation practice.
Yes.
When you're ready to level it up a bit.
Yes.
These things can help. You can go drop into the QHHT.
When you start experiencing synchronicities and the numbers and all of those things.
You start seeing the signs.
You are on your path. It's time to start opening up to all the healing.
Yeah.
And
they're trying to get your attention.
Can do it on their own. But if you need the help, get the help.
Most of us need the help.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest.
Yes. I need the help. Like I said, I frequently have Reiki done on myself just to keep the energy moving and flowing.
Yes. Because I think sometimes we help others better than we help ourselves.
Totally.
So if you can go find somebody that you're comfortable with, that let them help you. Yes. Let the people come in and help you. You do not have to struggle alone.
Right.
On any of this. And it does not have to be expensive. You can start on your own. You could, you know what I mean? Like figure everything out.
Yep.
And then when you invest in certain things, you know they're the right things to do.
Yes. I
mean, I go around and do everything. I'm doing it for you guys out there.
Yes.
Okay. I'm figuring out what's good and what's bad for us.
Yes.
And bringing it to you. Okay. That's why Amy's here. I'm bringing you the things so that you can figure out what resonates with you and what doesn't. It's not all going to hit.
Right.
Hit where, where it should. Oh, Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And you're free to come back with anything, anytime.
Okay.
Like come share the things.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
All the things. And I'm going to keep bringing things to you too.
Yes.
And that's how it works.
Yep.
We all just keep sharing with each other and throwing all our shit in the light.
Yes.
And then we can all heal together.
Yes.
Yes. Because
it's all about being honest and looking.
Just be honest, people.
Yes.
If that's the main thing you get out of this lifetime,
let it go.
Just be honest.
Yes.
Because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
I mean, in different ways, but all in the same frickin' boat. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys next time. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now, I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. You know, the legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.